This is Lottie Cooper with Bob and with Inspirational Counseling. And we've been doing sessions for a few months, and I wanted Bob to share some of his experience working with me and doing this deep healing work. So, what would you like to share?
Well, there's two things that Lottie's done. First of all, she's completely different than I've been to a few counselors, and it's a really very different approach to it. But it seems more streamlined. It gets a lot more done in a shorter amount of time. The two things that come to mind: one, she can just see right inside of what the problems are, and a lot of times there's problems I'm not even aware of, and she just sees them and then addresses them and goes right for it to try to heal it. And then her healing methods too are very effective, and different things I don't quite understand, but they're very effective. Those are the two things that really distinguish it.
Oh, thank you.
So, yeah.
So what's some of the awareness that you had, like a before and after, that you've noticed since you've been working together?
Let's see.
This is totally spontaneous, by the way. I just asked him to do this 5 minutes ago, and he said yes.
Well, basically, it's a lot of things that I've become aware of myself that I've never been aware of, that are just things that have been sitting inside me and festering and kind of bringing my life down and keeping me off track and distracted and weak. Let's see. I can't seem to think of anything offhand. Let's see, what were we doing today?
Looking at obligations, duty, and shame.
Yes. I wasn't aware that I had certain sense of certain obligations that I thought that I had to behave in certain ways and to react in certain ways. And these are things that I guess I've had ever since I was a child, and wasn't even aware how much that I lived by this, how much I let it drive my life, and so I felt I had these obligations, and then that wasn't bad enough, but then it made me feel that I had to, since I had the obligation, I had to make sure to do whatever it was. And so in order to get it done, though, I needed other people to go along with it in a certain way. So I would be pushing on other people to push them into going along with it too. So not only was I making it hard on myself, I was making it hard on other people too, by having this sense of obligation that I didn't even really have, and wasn't even aware that I had. So that's a good example of something that Lottie could just see. And this is something, I mean, I've been around for a lot of years, and nobody's ever pointed that out to me before. And it's very helpful just to see that. That's half the battle of healing, actually.
And what else did you do besides seeing it? What showed up when we went within that can help you transform the seeing?
I got an image of a presence of an angel that is there, and it's giving me love and guidance, and it's helping to remind me when I start to fall into the forgetful acceptance of this obligation that I don't really have, just that I've been kind of hypnotized or something to believe that I had, but I forget. And so there's this presence in me, and I visualize it as an angel. I don't know what it really is. It could just be a couple of neurons up in the corner of my mind somewhere that's presenting as an angel. But whatever it is, it's helping me. It's giving me love, and it's saying that it's going to remind me at times when I forget, which is mainly what I need, because the worst problem is that I sort of go unconscious. I mean, this obligation comes at me, and I'm blindsided. It's like I've been hit over the head and become unconscious, and I don't even know that it's happened until I wake up maybe the next day or something, in a sense, and then I said, oh, look what I did. But at the time, I don't even know that it happened. I've in a sense, sort of become another person almost for a while that feels this obligation that I have made up. And so hopefully now there's a part of my brain that's going to help me to stop doing that. And so that would be great.
Mm-hmm. And with the love, one thing you shared which moved me because I saw tears in your eyes. It wasn't just a thought of love, you actually
Right.
experienced the love move
Yes.
through your body.
Yes, it was a feeling of love from this angel. And it was such powerful, pure love. Something, I don't even know if a human is capable of giving that, really, in a sense, because humans have so much stuff going on. And this was just a pure energy. Basically, she was made of love or something, and she was kind of beaming it at me. And it was a profound experience. It felt really good. It felt so good, but then it triggered other experiences of remembering all the times that I did not feel loved. And but nonetheless, on balance, it really felt good because it was a very strong feeling of love, and it was a wonderful experience, actually. And it healed some of the, I guess, all the times of not feeling loved were in a sense wounds that need to be healed, and this actually went a ways towards healing them. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that's what happens when we feel unconditional love from a being or even an animal or a spouse, is that all of our stuff comes up to heal.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes in relationships, people then blame the person that's loving them for the stuff coming up, right? And causes problems.
Right.
And in fact, if you can just recognize the stuff's coming up and out to be released, and it's not going back in, and if you have the awareness of that, then it is tremendously healing, because you know it's like, oh wow, this is just being shown to me that it's releasing out of me. Because if we grasp onto it again, we can recreate it, and that's what's recreating trauma. Like we're literally traumatizing ourselves by holding on for dear life, and then when we let go, I'm like, oh wow, it's being seen now to be released. It just moves through like a wave, like emotions come and go. Kids fall down, hit their head, get back, and oh, I want to play some more. It's kind of like that. Or if the mom says, oh my God, you've hit your head, and the little kid's like, oh, I better please mommy, I've hit my head and I'm gonna cry, and it's such a bad thing, when actually they just want to get up and play again, and the body has its wisdom to heal itself, right? Yeah. So you had a similar experience today with this angel coming, who says she's going to work with you regularly.
Yeah, and the main help I need is just to be reminded when I start to get distracted, triggered by something. It's like she'll kind of remind me, hey, you're getting triggered, and that I think will be enough to make me step back from the trigger, just to be aware of it. Because normally a trigger happens, and you just get pulled in right away before you're even aware of it, and it's too late. So anything to help remind me of it, to keep me out of it, help a lot. And I became aware of that my life is kind of driven a lot by triggers, like just throughout the day, most of the weeks. An awful lot of the things that I do are reactions to triggers. Like I'll get put in these different states of mind that are not very good, never very high states of mind. I recently, 10 years ago or so, I started having actual spiritual experiences, which are really good experiences. And I feel like I really experienced my true self. And at the time that I first had it, I figured, well, I'm just going to be like this all the time now. But of course I'm not. I'm constantly being distracted off of it or something. And I'm realizing that these are the triggers that happen all the time, every day. And so that's something I'm really becoming very aware of, is all these triggers that are just happening all the time. Mm-hmm. And they cause me to be distracted from my true self.
Mm-hmm. So. And now that you have more awareness, because since you've been working together, your awareness has expanded a lot, and you've had a lot more ability then to witness them and then shift them, because in the moment it's like you're reclaiming your power out of this trigger response.
That's right.
The fight, flight, or freeze, or automatic behavior that comes from a default kind of semi-asleep way of most people are alive. And then when you bring in your spiritual energy, right, we talked about that, your spiritual energy is actually transforming the density. Yes,
and I have that experience, but the thing is, I need to maintain my awareness and presence and consciousness. As soon as I get distracted off and I'm all triggered and thinking about something else,
and now you have a helper to help you.
Now I have a helper, so we'll see.
Allowed in, so it's very beautiful. So this is Lottie with Inspirational Counseling, and if you're more interested in learning more about this, you could go to www.inspirationalcounseling.com, or you can call me at 720-938-9627 and have a free consultation to see if this is something you would like to pursue for yourself. Thank you so much.